Well, good day, Tubes. How you doing today? Today is September 2nd, 2014. I got to thinking after doing the project review on the Oliver Super 88. I thought, well, maybe you guys like to see some of the other projects I put together, I got 4 cabinets full of farm toys here to pick from, so maybe I'll do some close-up shots of some of the custom stuff I did over the years. And then, as always, if you guys see something in the cabinets you'd like me to take a close look at for you, please, by all means, write in the comment box down below there, and I'll make a little video up for you. So anyway, guys, please hang tight and have a look, and let me know what you guys think of some of the work I did over the years. So, enjoy. Alright, well, I guess the first one I'll start with is this Oliver 70 road crop with the wide front I put together. It basically started out as just a scale model's plastic tractor I had ordered off the internet. It looked something like that, just kind of bland, not really any detail, no decals, kind of boring looking. So I did the next best thing. I decided I had some more of those 88 parts left over. The rear wheels come off the 88, and the front wheels come off the Farmall 560. Front axles off one of the early spec cast 88s. I painted the grill, put the decals on. I even added the fenders off that same 88. And there's a company out there that does photo etching parts by the name of Tractor Fab. They do some really, really nice stuff. They got steering wheel kits like you see on the 70 here. That's really nice. It really, really brings detail out in a place where usually it's just a piece of cast in a circle. So that's just a quick custom I did on the Oliver 70. I mean, sometimes the simple things make the biggest differences. Oh, I also added the exhaust pipe too. Okay, so the next one I did was a Oliver 80 Standard. Now this was, my grandpa had a real one, so I thought, maybe I should try doing one of these. I started off with a scale models row crop Oliver 80, and first thing I did was cut the front axle piece off. I don't have a model to demonstrate now because they've all been turned into 80 standards or 1828 standards or what have you. But anyway, he started off by shaving the casting down and shaved out the front pedestal, and then put the front axle off at Ertl 460. The front wheels are off a row crop 88. The back wheels are off the same utility 460. The fenders I modified from a set of John Deere D fenders. And the exhaust pipe I just made out of a piece of mechanics wire. The air cleaner's off that same 460. Made a crank out of a little pin they give you in those Tractor Fab kits. Is basically the same size as a sewing needle, basically. Come on top here. And this was a nice piece. I was actually lucky. I know the decals say 80 row crop, but they don't make 80 standard decals, so I figured that'll fly. It's pretty small to see anyway. It shows up pretty good in the camera, but looking at it in person, it can't really see it, so that's the front. Could super glue those wheels on straight, I guess, but crank, you can spin the crank, but you really try not to because it'll just break off. And I was actually real happy to be able to find the Oliver decal to go on the upper rad tank, so that really makes it look kind of neat. And that's the other side. I detail painted the magneto on there and whatnot. So it makes for kind of a neat little tractor. I mean, I've never seen anybody else make one, but then again, this is why I'm making these videos, guys, so you guys kind of get some ideas and maybe try some custom builds of your own. I'd love to see someone else make some more Oliver tractors because it's really neat. I mean, Oliver's my favorite tractor, in case you guys couldn't tell. Okay, so this next one you guys should be able to tell what it is. It's a replica of the Cockshutt Heart Power 1828 I got down the farm. I do not have decals for it yet, but I think I might have found something that'll work, so I'll show you guys that when I get them. But basically, after I built this one after the 80, I figured since I can do an 80 and 1828, it's much the same tractor. Just did the same thing, got an 80 row crop, cut the front pedestal off, and then I used a 460 axle, but instead these wheels were the original 80 row crop wheels. I tried to put a real rubber tire on them, but couldn't get anything to look right, so I painted the wheels orange, and the front tires I just drew on the front tires with a Sharpie, and the back wheels are actually 460 utility tires. I just ground down so that I could fit the rubber tire on them. And of course it has the tractor fab steering wheel, the 460 utility air cleaner, piece of mechanic wire for an exhaust pipe, and the crank on that one turns too. I mean, looking at some of the stuff on the camera, you can kind of see where some stuff's a little bit crooked, but that's alright. In person, you can't really tell. And that's the other side. It's kind of hard to see the magneto, but it is painted on there. I might try to make a black cap on it like the actual big tractor's got. That's the same thing. He's got John Deere D fenders on it and all that kind of stuff, but I've shaved the fenders down so they actually look appropriate. Now I could narrow this up a little bit more because actually on the real tractor there's spacers on it so the tires stick out, so it does look pretty accurate. Okay, the same as the 1828 and the 80 Oliver, I figured why not do a Cockshutt 80? They're pretty much the same tractor, you just paint them red. Started out as the same Oliver 80 row crop, used all the same front axle, back tires, fenders, all that kind of stuff. I ran out of steering wheels, so I still got the same plastic steering wheel as it came with. This one, instead of making a straight pipe for it, I put a muffler on it. Then it's got the Farmall 460 front tires on it, but they've all been painted. I was actually real lucky to find these Oliver 80 decals. They are separate. You buy them as an 80 and 70 set. Now these Cockshutt logos with the maple leaf on them, that's the ones I might buy to put on the gas tank of that Cockshutt 1828 that I built, the one I showed you guys before this, because that's the decal that I got on the real tractor right now. So I might order a second set of these when I make my next order. Another note too, and it's kind of hard to tell, but I used the famous black Sharpie again to draw on the manifold. The manifold's cast in there, but you can't get a paintbrush in there, it's so small, so a fine tip Sharpie works real good. This one of course has a crank. And on all three of these tractors I did add a belt pulley, but the nub's so little it's hard to get them on straight, and these are actually, the belt pulleys were actually just a rim off a John Deere tractor. But it fit on there good, so that's what we used. And of course, it's got the magneto painted on it too. Just in red. Okay, this next one is an Oliver 66 Standard. Started off as an 88 row crop. And then I cut it in half, and you can see where I JB welded the two casting halves back together. I got to come in with it. I didn't have a hobby knife set, then I just got to come back in and etch back in the side curtain louvers. But I used the wheels off of John Deere M for the rear, the front's off the 88 row crop. I built the front axle. And you see I really got to clean up that side curtain on this side. So it's really just a scaled down 88 Standard. But nonetheless, looks real nice. Okay, and here's an Oliver Super 55 that I did. It started out as a Ford, I believe it was the 650. And I cut the hood off, and then I had a junk 77 line in the box. So I shaved the hood down on that, and I glued it onto the now hoodless Ford 650. And then I painted it Oliver colors, stuck the tractor fab steering wheel on it. And there's the front. The other side, it's a little bit dusty because it's been sitting in my cabinet for 2 years now. And then of course, the custom exhaust I did was just basically, it's a piece of copper wire out of a house. And then painted the right color. Okay, this next one we got here is a Cockshutt 560. Now this one's a little bit more in depth of a job. It started out as a Farmall 560, and then the first thing I did was I modified the hood, and then I shaved it down, and then I added the hood strip, and then the next thing, the grill was the biggest part because I had to shave off the International 560 grill, and I just made this piece out of styrene. But I found a better way to do it. As in, you can take a torch, heat the styrene up just a hair, and then you can mold it a little bit better. And I didn't do that on this one, so this piece should be square, not really oval. But what can you do? It's kind of tricky to do when you're working with stuff this little. But anyway, I scratch made the muffler. The air cleaner came off an International. And the wheels are off the 88 row crop. Front wheels are off the International 560. And then I scratch built the front axle. This is a piece of styrene with a piece of copper wire in it. Find the copper wires about the right gauge. And painted the axle shafts and whatnot. Well, this is a 540 Cockshutt I did. I used up one of those mini Farmall 460 utility castings I had lying around from working on all those Oliver tractors, but I kept the 460 fenders, rear tires, front tires, and the muffler. But I did all the hood modifications, did the grill, made the grill strip, and moved the muffler location. Did a little bit better job on doing the styrene for the front grill. Scratch built the front axle. And of course did all the paint work. Painted the seat the right color. Well guys, that's going to do it for this review. Hopefully you enjoyed some of my projects. I think next maybe I'll show off some Red Power or John Deere. I'm not quite sure yet. Maybe you guys can write in the comment box and we'll figure out what to do next. But anyway, if you like my videos or my projects, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Have a nice night.